Hello, hello. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to Stamping A to Z. I'm Linda Gibbs. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Canada. Welcome to my live if you are watching for the first time. If you have been here before, welcome anyways. Hi. Leave a note in the comments. Let me know that you're watching, where you're watching from. I'd love to hear from you, whether you're watching the live or the replay. I do also post these lives onto my YouTube channel, so no matter where you're watching from, please say hi and comment. Feel free to ask questions. I'd love to hear from you. All right, so today we are in June now, and today is a great day because it is the start of our June special, which is a sale for all of our die and stamp bundles. I thought it was all bundles, but it's just the die and stamp bundles, including the ones on the online exclusives and in the annual catalog. Unfortunately, if you're a demonstrator, we just got a pre-order release for the online exclusives, and there's some beautiful bundles, and they are not included in the 10% off. The other part of the special is both of our Stampin' Cut machines. Is that what they're called? Stampin' Cut and Emboss machines are also 10% off. So you can get the big machine, the little machine at 10% off. If you're wondering which one you should get, the big one is the one that can kind of do everything. The smaller one does not fit a lot of the embossing folders. It only fits those little slim embossing folders, but it does fit a lot, the majority of the dies. And I find it's handy if you're traveling somewhere and you just want something little to be able to do a little bit of die cutting or a little bit of embossing with the smaller embossing folders. It gives you that option. It's also more cost effective, so that if that's what fits your budget, you can still do quite a bit. Like even if you're a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine would be great because they sell the dies that go with the Paper Pumpkin subscriptions, and so you would be able to use those in the mini machine. So it is a great starter machine or a great travel machine, but if you have the budget for the larger machine, that's where you can do everything. So yeah, that started today. So if you've got some bundles on your list, now is the time to get them, because for the month of June they are 10% off on top of, so if you already know, our bundles are 10% off to start with when you bundle them. So if you're buying the stamp and the die set, it's 10% off. If you were going to buy them separately, it's 10% off of that. And right now for the month of June, you get an extra 10% off. So it's like getting 20% off your bundle. So it's a really great time. So today I'm going to feature 3 bundles out of the annual catalog, and not only that, but I don't know if you watched my annual catalog, not launch, but the preview of the catalog and how it kind of is laid out, you would have seen that there is a page with sketches on them. And so today I'm going to pull a sketch from there and show you how you can kind of come up with designs for your cards based on a sketch. So we're only going to use one sketch, but I'm going to do 3 different cards, 3 different bundles, so you can see how far even just one sketch can go and how different your cards can look even with just the one sketch. So let's get you turned around and let's get crafting. Okay. Oop. Gave you a little sneak peek of my I don't know why it's wanting to tip over today. Usually it does not. I've got a bit of a shadow going on there. Hopefully. Let me just pull it up on my iPad if I can. There we go. Okay, it doesn't look too bad on from what I can see, so we'll just assume it's all good. So here's the deal. So in case you haven't seen them, this is the mini. It is pretty much the same as the large one. If you've seen me use them, it is a little bit more finicky in terms of feeding it, but once you start using it and get used to it, it works the same. It's built the same. It's just smaller. So here's the big one. I don't know if you can, let me see if I can, I don't know if I can get this in the picture here. Small versus large. So but as you can see, it's the same. They both fold open and shut. They store nicely. Oh, let me get that out of the way. And so when I thought the punch bundles were in here, I haven't done any permanent punching, but so here's the machines. And so the small machine is, oh shoot, I had pulled it up and I didn't write it down. It was, let me think. So it comes with all your plates and everything that you need. I think, oh no, I can't remember. This one comes in around 150, 160, I can't remember, and 70 something. 10% off. However you want to calculate that. You can throw it into the, oh, I printed out my June host code and I forgot to go get it. So my little shopping, here, I was gonna throw away my May. Don't use the host code, but if you go on to my store, you can punch in the code for the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine and it'll tell you how much it is on sale for. So today I told you that we have some sketches here. So we've got on page 22 of the annual catalog, there is a whole inspiration section and it has all these different sketches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 22 layouts that you can use for ideas. I think if you look hard enough, you can find samples of that throughout the layouts in the cards, but that's a lot of work. I mean, you might just kind of notice, but there's definitely samples throughout. So today I'm taking this sketch here with the 3 vertical stripes and then the rectangle in the middle. Now you can take that exactly the way it is, or you can kind of get creative with it, which is kind of what I've done. Like I've done one where it's just the 3 and the rectangle, and then I've done kind of a bit beyond. So I'm not using the ducks. The first bundle I chose is this Full of Life, Friends for Life bundle. It is, I love this paper. This paper is gorgeous. We're going to use a teeny tiny piece of it. But just, I love the sentiments, the best friend, the miss you. And then you've got the 2 friend dies, the kind of the shadow and then the printing. And these, the ribbon and the, oh my gosh, my words are just, the embellishments, the gems are super, super pretty. So that's the first one we're going to use. So, ooh, sorry. I forgot to put my Stampin' and Cut. We almost went for a tumble there. Okay. Oh my goodness. I think I know why. Because I put the iPad holder thing on top so it could hold my phone, but that just made it so much more top heavy. Okay. Sorry about that as you get like a close-up of my hand. All my goodness. Okay, so these cute little tabs, unfortunately, they are not on sale. Where did I put the little bundle here? Actually, it would be on sale if you bought the die. So this is one of the sets. Where is it? It's further back here. So there's a couple of our sets that can come with a die or a punch. It's your choice. So if you don't have a cut and emboss machine, you are able to get the punch. I like the punch, especially for the tab, because it's quick and easy to pull out without having to use, but if you get the die bundle, it's actually quite a bit cheaper. It's only $38.25. And so if you did the die and stamp set bundle, that would be 10% off. So compared to the punch, which the bundle ends up $52, and that one is not 10% off. So something to keep in mind. You could do it. So it's got like 3 stamps that you can stamp to make a print. And then I haven't written, these are totally temporary for today's. I used the Post-it notes, the sticky ones that are all the way through, and I just stuck it on here. So I can move them around and I can do whatever. I just wanted to show you that they make great tabs for binders, for paper, but they also make great tabs for file folders, dividers, whatever you may want. But let's go back to our other one, Friends for Life here. And we're gonna get started. So here are the beautiful gems that I was talking about. They are so shiny and iridescent. I don't even know if you can get a sense of how pretty they are. They definitely don't do them justice in the catalog, for sure. And then here's the stamp set and the die set. And I'll just show you the paper quickly. The paper is obviously not on sale, but beautiful, beautiful papers. The way I chose my colors for this was I just went onto the back of the Designer Series paper, and I mean, there's a whole lot of colors in this, so you can't really go wrong. But I love this little strip. So instead of the rectangles, like in this sketch, I've got this as my rectangle. And instead of 3, because they're pretty small, I did 5. So I'm already changing it up, but it's the same kind of layout idea. It's just changing up the numbers. So I'm still gonna well, actually I should have saved this one for last, because this one is kind of the most varied in terms of, it was, yeah, technique wise it was the simplest, but I should have saved it for last. Anyways, so I'm just gonna glue these down onto my piece of cardstock. You could start in the center, or you can kind of try and even your ends. I haven't used my glue yet this morning. Okay. And try and get it even from top to bottom. And then I want this one kind of the same. My paper, my plates are getting so used. My paper is like super crunchy. Not crunchy, textured. Crunchy is the wrong word. Okay, oh, I shouldn't have put that one next. Like I said, normally I would do the 2 outsides and then the middle, and then kind of center those 2 other ones based on that, but we're just gonna kind of eyeball it here. so now we have our rectangles. And then we were supposed to have the one big rectangle in the center. Now, instead of having one big rectangle in the center, I cut out a bunch of die cuts that are going to make the rectangle in the center. So instead of having a physical rectangle, I'm just using die cuts to kind of pretend that that's my rectangle in the center. So this is the designer series paper. I cut it out. So when you cut out this heart, it actually cuts out an outline, and it doesn't fully cut it out. I don't know if you can see. There's a start and a finish, and so the inside you kind of have to trim with scissors. All right, Aspen's decided to have a sneezing episode. Okay, so then you could use an adhesive sheet, but I find that this has enough spots on it where you can just put some dots of glue that you don't really need. It's not so, I mean, none of it is impossible to do. Sometimes I do get lazy, I believe. Well, you'll see on the words I used the adhesive sheet. I'm just gonna, so I don't know if you can tell, I cut that off. Okay. I'm just gonna hold that down with one of my glass blocks, get that to kind of set. And then, so I've got the friend shadow here. And then we've got the fine writing, which I did use an adhesive sheet for. So we're just gonna peel. It's okay if it stretches, but it just kind of makes, you have to be careful when you're putting it down, because you kind of have to position it so that it fits onto the background. But it does, I love using the adhesive sheets with this kind of word stuff. It just makes it so much easier. It makes it easy to peel the pieces off, and then it also makes it easier to put on. So as you can see, we're missing the little dot, which is here. So be careful when unfortunately, it's separate from the rest. And now I have to somehow, the worst thing is so if you have the adhesive sheet on here, you can't really glue it down because it's like a, uh-oh. I just flicked it on and it flew. Oh, here, it's on my shirt. Okay. This is the hardest part. Peeling the eye. Dot. There we go. Okay. That's the most difficult part of this card. Getting the eye dot. If you've got a trick for that, let me know. That's my most challenging. All right, then we've got friend, and then I chose to, where's my stamp here? I'm using the Miss You. You could do so excited for you, friend. Thank you, friend. Love you, friend. Happy birthday, friend. Anything, really. I have a bunch of friends out east or even just around here that I don't see often, so I just thought it'd be nice to have some Miss Yous. I I was planning on heading out east, I would have been there right now. But then I decided it was too much traveling. Traveling just sucks my energy. I don't have a lot of energy to begin with. And I've been really struggling with having any kind of energy. So just thought I would skip it, but I'm kind of missing. So my youngest is competing at Canadians this week. And so I was hoping to go watch. You know, you never know when it could be their last. I miss watching. Okay, so then we've got all of our die cut pieces and stamped pieces. And then that's going to kind of make my rectangle, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? You guys are being very quiet. I have to make this more interactive. Okay, so we've got our heart. And since the heart, like, you know, there's already three layers, right? So to put friend, I'm going to glue this part down, but I'm going to pop these two letters up. So I just feel like it kind of, you know, it would bend downwards if I don't. So I'll put a dimensional layer and here, and then maybe we'll just cut. It is, I don't know if you can hear the wind blowing. I'm not used to hearing all this stuff from when I was in the basement. It was always so quiet. I'm kind of, I don't know, I can't decide if I prefer the complete silence or if I like a bit of noise. Okay, so that's kind of how we're gonna go with it. So I'm gonna put some glue. I think is the easiest way to do this. Glue is definitely your friend when it comes to words, right? It's really hard to put adhesive. You can use the fine tip glue pen, which I still haven't pulled out. I need to do that. I kind of stopped using it, I think because I wasn't using it with my in-person classes, because I found people just, it's really hard to, it's not really hard, it takes practice and you have to know kind of what to do, but there's a pin that goes inside of it and people had a hard time. I don't know, what do you think? There? Or I guess we want miss you friend, not friend miss you. That would be kind of silly. I might just pop this up, I think. Let's see. And we'll go, if we go on that side, we'll use a little one. Up here. Okay, so we've got Miss You Friend, and then we are going to put some of these pretty embellishments on here. They're so, so pretty. Here, and here. And here, oopsie. Okay. And then we can just put it on a thick basic white base. Once again, I think I'm gonna put, so I'm just gonna put dimensionals in the corners here, so that way if I'm mailing it, it won't have double adhesive anywhere. So it'll still give that look of being popped up, but not the thickness. Because it has to be able to fit through that mail slot, right? So isn't that pretty? So that's kind of, this was my total variation on, this should have been my last card. I totally did this backwards. But that's number one. Sketch number one with a total twist. All right. Now I'm trying to think through the, okay, our second one we will do is kind of more straightforward. I have all my color. I don't know if I want to, if you guys want to see me color everything, but we can do a little bit of coloring. Okay, so I've kind of cheated here. I've pre-cut everything, which isn't cheating, but I used the Nested Essential dies, and I believe it was this, nope, it's this one. But you can see it's smaller, so I did the trick where you cut out part of it and then you pull it over and do the rest of it to cut it down to the size that you'd like. I do have several videos on how to do that if you want to see how it is done. You can always go check those out. Okay, so here we have kind of more the traditional layout sketch. We're going kind of more on topic. We're going with what we're supposed to do. I'm going to take the French fry. Oh, I didn't even tell you what set I'm using here. I'm taking the French fries. So I am using the Bistro Burger bundle. So this is another one that you can get 10% off. This is perfect for Father's Day, but not just Father's Day, any kind of burger lover, food lover. I love the style of the words. Again, it lends itself to great masculine kind of cards, which are kind of hard to come by sometimes. So I really like that. I really like that you're kind of a big deal. So, and then it's kind of cool. The dies are fun. So you've got like the knife that has two parts. You've got the handle and then the blade. You've got some flames. You've got a cutting board, a jalapeno pepper. You've got, I'm not sure. So the burger and bun, it actually cuts out, I'll show you. I'll cut it out and show you. And then the fries, and I haven't figured out all the pieces and parts. I'm not sure what the, oh, banners maybe? I don't know. Sometimes you just have to play. So let's see. Sometimes they give you the answer in their samples in the catalog. So here's the burger. So you can put a little, okay. So you can do a banner. You can do a little flag topper. You've got the knife and the bun. You've got some flames. The jalapeno cheese, maybe a cheese slice is one of those. And then what was the one? I'm not sure what this line is for. So this is the slice of cheese. I don't know what this is for, I'm not sure what these are. Oh, olives? It's an olive. That's funny. Or you can just make it into whatever, I mean, some people, multiple images. Yeah, this is for an olive, and you can stick, oh, it's a toothpick. That's what this is. It's a toothpick. Gotcha. That's what that stick is. Haha, got it. Oh, Yolande, I will come over and watch your live when I'm done. Thanks for coming out and watching. All right, so we're going to take the French fries and we're just going to stamp a background willy-nilly. There's no rhyme or reason to how I am stamping this. I just want some fries here and there. Like so. So we've got a fry background and that's the thing. So when there's a bundle without designer series paper, you can make your own designer series paper, but it's just kind of you barely see it. It just gives that little bit of extra texture. So then I've cut 3 rectangles out of the Glimmer paper, which is in the annual catalog, and it is of all the new in colors. So this is Peach Pie, which matches my peach pie. So exactly like the sketch, I've got my 3 rectangles. Oh dear. Basketball net almost flew over. It is windy out there. Okay, so then the way I'm going to do my strips, I'm lining it up so I kind of have an even border, top, bottom, and side. And then I'm going to do the same with the other side. Again, you could use glue or adhesive. I shouldn't say adhesive, stamp and seal. I don't know what it is. The stamp and seal just doesn't stick in my head. Maybe I don't use it enough. Okay, so then we'll line that up. So we've got our 3 strips, like in the sketch, and then I've got a rectangular piece, like in the sketch. It's narrower than the, actually I think I cut this too wide, hang on. 1 second, I did. It's 1/4 of an inch. So I'm like, this doesn't look right. Okay, so we got our little mini cutter. This was, and I think I'm 1/4 inch too big this way. This was a cutter that was only ever available if you signed up to get the starter kit. It was quite a while ago. I can't remember how long ago. And I think as demonstrators, we were able to order them, like pay for it and order it. It is the handiest. I love the guillotine cutter, and so I really like it. The only thing I don't like is anything bigger doesn't work so good, or you have to readjust and cut from the other side, so you're only cutting little bits, but I love it. Okay, so I've got the rectangle, I've got my strips, this is my sketch, right? That's all you get for the sketch. And then you have to add stuff. So you need sentiment, you need some decoration, whatever. So I've cut the cutting board. I thought I did cut it down. It's actually bigger than that. So you can see I did another adjustment on it. And I'm just gonna, so we'll set this aside. We don't need that. I'm gonna glue my cutting board here, or stamp and seal it. Okay. And then we've got, so I pre-cut the blade with silver foil, and then I used pecan pie for the handle. Isn't that cute? Like, I love how it just pieces together. So again, I guess you could use stamp and seal, but I'm just going to use a bit of glue here. Pop that down. Okay. And then this I did for my sentiment, which is "You're kind of a big deal." And it fits perfectly. I'm going to do that. I'm going to emboss that with white embossing powder. I'm hoping my powder is still powder. I had left the window open and it was really windy also yesterday. I feel like we're turning into the Windy City. My dad used to always talk about, he loved Chicago and it being the Windy City. I think we were always kind of a mini Windy City, but I don't know, the last month or so, I think every week we've had 2 days at least where, you know, on the weather where it has like the little wind symbols. We've had a few days of that every single week for, I don't know, the last month or so. And I remember I used to always, you know how like our parents used to be like, "Oh yeah, I used to walk both ways uphill." Oh, sorry, that's that's like scraping a chalkboard. But it always felt like I used to bike to work downtown at one point, and I'd bike into the wind on the way there, and I'd bike into the wind on the way home. I mean, it just switched directions, but like nobody believes you because of your parents' story of, "I used to walk both." Anyways, uphill both ways. So then when I used to say I used to bike into the wind both ways, nobody ever believed me, but it seriously is a thing. Truly is. Sorry, I went off camera here because I didn't want to heat up my embossing powder. I've got such a mess going on. Okay, let's try that. So it fits perfectly. Now, of course, I had the sentiment in mind when I cut down this label. So we've got that. And then we need our burger and fries. So I'll have some fries here. And then, oh, why am I closing this? I need to do my burger. It's such a detailed burger. I actually had troubles coloring it because it's like, okay, what is this? This is part of the lettuce. This is part of, like, it's just got so many little things peeking out. You kind of have to figure out like what's what. So you can't just willy-nilly color. Now I don't want to bore you coloring, and I already have one colored. Do you guys want to see me color? What's your take on coloring? Should I do a little bit of coloring? So I will tell you the colors that I used. So I used Granny Apple Green for the lettuce. I used Old Olive for the pickles. There are pickles up here. I used Poppy Parade for the tomatoes. I used pecan pie for the burger. I used peach pie for the cheese. And I used the ivory and bronze set for the bun. Just keep on going. I used the Daffodil Delight and a bit of ivory, I think, for the French fries. And then that became this. So unless you guys really want to, let me know in the comments whether you're watching the replay, YouTube, whatever. Let me know if you like watching the coloring part or if I should pre-color and just skip it. I just want, so when you cut out the burger, it cuts the line here. It lines up perfectly with the crisscross of the bun, so you don't really see it, but it gives you the slit in order to put the knife in, so you can cut. I don't know how many people really cut their burgers. I used to when the kids were little, but I can't say, well, I guess I do sometimes. If it's a really big burger, I'll cut it in half and only eat half. But anyways, it's just extra cuteness. So you can see I just, I popped up the burger and the knife, and this is the sketch of the rectangle, the 3 other strips, and then your whatever you want to put on top. So that's another way to design a card based on that sketch. Let me put, there's just so many markers, so many colors. See, if you're coloring burgers, you might want to do them all at once and then cut them up and go from there, because it is a lot. All right, so I'm gonna move this. We don't need these. Sorry, bang, bang, bang on the glass. Okay, the last one I'm gonna do is Friendly Fins. It is page 60. This is another, I just swallowed my spit. It's another cute bundle. I had looked at it and I was like, nope, I'm not going to get it. I don't want sharks. But I really didn't notice I love dolphins. I was obsessed with them in my teen years, I would say. And then the sting, these guys are cute. Like, they're not ugly. And then they're 2-step stamping, which is nice. You've got your fish, you've got your coral, and then just the really cute sentiment. Again, I like the font. And then it's got this really nice coral, well, 2 different corals. It's got the fish you can cut out. You can cut out all the stamp pieces and lots of different types of coral, seashell, lobster. That's a lobster, yes. Like crab, lobster, and you can even cut out bubbles, like super cute. And you can see here, you don't have to stick the bubbles down. You can just cut the holes, the bubbles in your paper. I'm pretty sure these are, you know what? This might be gems, embellishments, but you could do the exact same thing with the bubbles where you're just cutting out of your paper. I should have done it on mine. Anyways, and you can see all the fun stuff you can do with it. So yeah, anyways, that's the one I'm going to use. So me grab my stuff here. Grab the bundle. And then we've got some blends. The pretty watercolors, my favorite colors. The entire house is like this color. This color. This is like my walls. I think this matches I bet you if I put it up to my walls, it would match. It's like I live in a pool. Okay, so here's the bundle. It is a photopolymer stamp set, which means it's clear, which helps when it's a double, a two-step stamp. It makes it much easier to stamp. Then we've got, so I've, again, pre-cut things. So I've got my background, which is, I believe this is Summer Splash. This is one of the new in colors. Then I've got my rectangle. Now this is larger than what I'm going to use. I'm just starting with it. This is also, so I'm going to turn this rectangle into my strips, and then this is kind of my other rectangle. And I decided that rather, like the sketch goes this way, or it shows it this way, you can also turn it and make it so that it is landscape instead of portrait. You know, you're never stuck to doing it one way. Oh, that's funny. My video has been going along great. And it just froze up on me. Crazy. Not when we're back. Okay. Pre-color. So I've taken, I'm not coloring this, I'm coloring this. I've got Pool Party. So I use the dark ones because I'm going to be doing a smoosh technique, and it kind of waters it down when you add the liquid. So I wanted to go darker so you'd be able to see it. So we've got Pool Party, we've got Summer Splash, and Bermuda Bay. Bermuda Bay's retired. Why did I take that one? I had originally used Pretty Peacock. Should I use Bermuda? I'll go with my original. My original was Pretty Peacock. I forgot the Bermuda. I saw Bermuda Bay and I was like, oh, that would might work better. And then I forgot that it was retired. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here and I'm going to color my block. And this color you can barely see because it matches the glass. So I'm just gonna, you can kind of see it, I think, hopefully. And then we're gonna come in and color this one. And then I took the lighter Pretty Peacock because Pretty Peacock, my words, Pretty Peacock is quite dark. Okay. Then we're going to take a spritzer that is filled with some alcohol. And oops, I better remove my sheet that I'm about to use. And I'm going to spritz this so that it's wet. And the nice thing with the alcohol is you can use regular basic white paper and you can see it'll soak through, but it dries pretty much instantly. I will hit it with my heat tool, but it's not like sopping wet or anything. So it just makes a really pretty washed background. Now, oh, that's strong. I'm going to spritz it again, and I'm just going to wipe it right away because with the alcohol marker, if you leave it to dry, it is a little bit harder to wash off. So it's better just to get it while it's wet. The last time I left it on there and I didn't clean it for maybe an hour or so, and it left me a nice, I had to use alcohol to take it off, which is fine. I mean, it's just slightly more work. It's not that big of a deal. Be careful if you are drying. You don't want to, it is alcohol. Alcohol and heat equals fire. So flammable. So just, you know, take it easy. Don't burn your paper. It's pretty much like, it just feels cold to the touch. It's really not sopping wet. You saw how much was on there. There was quite a bit of alcohol on there. It just gives it a nice washed look. I can't remember. I hope I wrote it down. 3.5 by 4.5. Is that right? Okay. Let's start with and we essentially want it there. So we want that at 3.5. Well, we don't want to cut it off. Okay. So then we're going to cut it into, it doesn't matter that it's wonky. We're going to cut it into 1.5-inch strips this way. So since we will go, so 1.5 would be 3 if we are in fact at, I don't know if I'm exactly, let's go this way. So we know we have 1.5-inch strips. 1.5. So you can see I'm cutting my strips horizontal, not vertical like the other ones, but that's okay because we've switched the lineup of our, we went from portrait to landscape. So we've got our strips and then we've got our rectangle with a piece of hair. Okay, so then you can just glue those down. And again, I like to, okay, so I've got this much room, so I'm going to leave about that much room on that side. And then we'll do the other end. Same thing here. We've got, I actually like this better than my original where I used the dark Pretty Peacock, which is why I had switched to the Bermuda Bay. So you just want to make sure they're all kind of the same darkness, I guess. Okay, so we've got our vertical strips like our sketch, and then we've got vellum. Now, the sad news, Stampin' Up! Doesn't sell vellum anymore. I don't know why they took it out of the catalog. I'm shocked. They do have like even one of the new online exclusives for the Christmassy kind of stuff has a specialty vellum. So they'll always have kind of maybe more the specialty vellum, but not the plain vellum, which plain vellum is so much fun to do all sorts of techniques with. So it's kind of sad. So hopefully you still have some in your stash. If not, you can get, I'm sure, Michael's or Amazon or anywhere. I'm sure you can find some. I'm pretty sure I bought extra when the catalog was going out. So then I pre-cut the coral, the big coral, out of the Summer Splash, which matches my background. And I'm just going to glue that straight down. But before I do that, I'm going to stamp my sentiment. I'm going to emboss it on here. And I've got happy birthday. And I just happened to have, now this is old because I don't want to say I'm a hoarder because I'm not a hoarder, not of all things anyways. These embossing powders, so they're the 2018 to 2020 in color embossing powder. And so one of the embossing powders is that, I think it's Grapefruit Grove. And I thought it was close enough to Calypso Coral. Like it looks kind of corally, right? And it looks like it goes well with the Summer Splash. So I decided to use that for my sentiment. So you can see it does pay off to have things in your, like I'm not one of those demonstrators that, oh, it's retired, I'm getting rid of it, off it goes. Like, obviously if I have a lot of like doubles and triples, I would, but if I bought it, it's because I like it and I don't want to get rid, like, I don't know. I don't like this whole retired thing because I like to use my stuff because you never know. It's nice to have different things that you can use. So then see, I have a nice coral looking sentiment, and I don't know if it's because it's all sealed up in this little tube, but it melts beautifully. Sometimes I used to think that some of my powders are super, super old, so maybe that's what it is. So I'm just heating up the heat gun since with vellum you want to make sure your tool is already pre-warmed so you don't have to heat it a lot on your paper or your paper will get all kind of warped. So yeah, see, it's already melting. If it's nice and warm, this stuff melts like butter. Like none of my other powders melt like this. I wish they would. I should write to them and be like, whatever powder you used back then, it is awesome. So I've got the sentiment there. Now, if you wanted to do a colored sentiment and you don't have colored embossing powder, you could, I don't want to tell you, because you could do white embossing powder and color it with your blends, but that wrecks your tips. Some people say it doesn't. I'm pretty sure it does. So I don't want to tell you to do that. I was trying to think, like if you're doing it, I don't know if it would work. You could try and do the trick where you use the Versamark and then, so stamp your sentiment into the Versamark and then stamp it while it still like has the Versamark on it, stamp it into your like Calypso Coral or whatever ink pad you're wanting to use, and then add clear embossing powder. Now on vellum, I don't know how clear that would be, although there is white-ish in the background, so you could try it. Maybe I'll try it on another. I should have tried it here and I could have showed you the difference. Huh, dang, I should have done that. Okay, well, we'll have to, maybe I'll try it on a separate piece afterwards and I'll post it with the pictures so you can see the difference. And I just realized that I don't have a piece of paper to stamp my dolphins on. Hang on. I forgot. I put on my dolphins. 1 second, please. I need to make myself a stash of white scraps to stamp on that are handy. I haven't done that yet. Okay, so then I need gray. Where's my gray? Right here. Some smoky slate. Because you know dolphins are gray. I think there are kind of bluish dolphins, but... And then I'll show you the two-step. It's kind of cool. So I don't want this full strength. So I'm gonna stamp off, oops. And then I'm going to stamp him onto here. And then it leaves that nice white space there. And same with the, is that a stingray or a manta ray? Now that I think about it, I'm not sure. Might have to do some sea creature research. I'm not up on my, when the kids were little, oh my God, it's like you're a walking encyclopedia because you're always, what's this? What's this? See, and it just fills, and it leaves that little white spot, which is nice. And then I did cut a piece of white because I was going to show you the mini. Anyways, where's my dies now? Okay, so you would just cut out, there's a dolphin die and manta ray, stingray, I think it's a manta ray. You cut them out. Bada bing, bada boom. Oh, these, and they, like, they're also little, they're just so cute. Like, you could really build something, a total, like, imagine a scrapbook page with this. It's so cute. Let me pull out my finished one. So I added the, I would add the dolphin and whatever you're putting on, put it on. And then, you know, I put dimensionals on here and I kind of regretted it. I think it would look better. You would see the water better if you glued it down. So I would put glue all in behind here, and I would put glue behind this guy and glue behind the dolphin and glue it down flat instead of popping it up like this one. And then I just added, these sequins are not Summer Splash. I can't remember what they are. They're out of the annual catalog, but they were in either the mini or the annual catalog last year. And so they're just a trio, and I'm not sure what this color is meant to be, but it works really well with Summer Splash. So if you're looking for some kind of embellishment that matches, that one works well. And then the happy birthday just pops really nice. So those are my 3 cards using one sketch. Hopefully it gives you some ideas on how to use, you know, that you can find sketches on Pinterest, anywhere. If you're stuck for a design and you just want to make a card, like, that's a easy way to do it. So here's the 3 cards and the 3 bundles. So yeah, don't forget the bundles are on sale, and there's lots of ideas in the catalog on designs to use to make cards if you're stuck for creative. I know, like, the days where I'm super tired and my brain's not working, I'll even can't remember, this one actually is almost, so I kind of combined the, if you see, I used this as my kind of starting point idea, right? And then I had my sketch that I wanted to do, so I changed that. This isn't glimmer paper. This, they use the Duck DSP paper, and they didn't use the cutting board, but, you know, like, I just changed up. But that was kind of color-wise, that's how I started with the peach pie. And then I just kind of went from there. So if you're stuck for ideas, use the catalog. It is such a great place for inspiration and ideas, like don't be afraid to case out of the catalog. Like these are professional designers who know color, know like artists that they're great to use. So yeah, there you go. Hopefully you have a great rest of your week, and we will see you next week. Take care. Bye.